Jai Gurudev. Can one of you begin and chant the first 20 shlokas? Any of you is able to do, let me know. I'll begin with the prayer. Om. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet.
अथ पञ्चमोऽध्यायः अर्जुन उवाच सन्न्यासं कर्मणां कृष्ण पुनर्योगं च संशसि यश्श्रेय एतयोरेकं तन्मे ब्रूहि सुनिश्चितम् श्रीभगवानुवाच सन्न्यासः कर्मयोगश्च निःश्रेयस्करा उभौ तयोस्तु कर्मसन्न्यासात् कर्मयोगो विशिष्यते ज्ञेय ज्ञेय स नित्यसन्न्यासी यो न द्वेष्टि न काङ्क्षति निर्द्वन्द्वो हि महाबाहो सुखं बन्धात् प्रमुच्यते साङ्ख्ययोगौ पृथक् बालाः प्रवदन्ति न पण्डिताः एकं प्यास्थितः सम्यक् उभयोर्विन्दते फलम् यत्साङ्ख्ये प्राप्यते स्थानं तद्योगैरपि गम्यते एकं साङ्ख्यं च योगं च यः पश्यति स पश्यति सन्न्यासस्तु महाबाहो दुःखा दुःखमाप्नु दुःखमाप्तुमयोगतः योगयुक्तो मुनिर्ब्रह्म न चिरेणाधिगच्छति योगयुक्तो विशुद्धात्मा विजितात्मा जितेन्द्रियः सर्वभूतात्मभूतात्मा कुर्वन् अपि न लिप्यते नैव किञ्चित् करोमीति युक्तो मन्येत् तत्त्ववित् पश्यन् शृण्वन् स्पृशन् जिघ्नन् गच्छन् स्वप्नन् श्वसन् प्रलप प्रलपन् विसृजन् गृह्णन् उन्मिषन् निमिषन् अपि इन्द्रियाणीन्द्रियार्थेषु वर्तन्त इति धारयन्. Please excuse if I am chanting wrong. ब्रह्मण्याधाय कर्माणि सङ्गं त्यक्तकरोति यः लिप्यते न स पापेन पद्मपत्रं विभां पद्मपत्रमिभाम्बसाः कायेन मनसा बुद्ध्या कैवल्यैरिन्द्रियैरपि योगिनः कर्म कुर्वन्ति सङ्गं त्यक्तात्मशुद्धये युक्तः कर्मफलं त्यक्त्वा शान्तिम् आप्नोति नैष्टिकीम् अयुक्तः कामकारेण फले सक्तो निबध्यते सर्वकर्माणि मनसा सन्न्यस्य सन्न्यस्यास्ते सुखं वशी नवद्वारे पुरे देहि नैव कुर्वन् कारयन् न कर्तृत्वं न कर्माणि लोकस्य सृजति प्रभुः न कर्मफलसंयोगं स्वभावास्तु प्रवर्तते नादत्ते कस्यचित् पापं न चैव सुकृतं विभुः अज्ञानेनावृतं ज्ञानं तेन मुह्यन्ति जन्तवः ज्ञानेन तु तज्ज्ञानं येषां नाशितमात्मनः तेषामादित्यवत् ज्ञानं प्रकाशयति तत्परम् तद्बुद्धयस्तदात्मानम् तन्निष्ठास्तत्परायणः गच्छन्त्यः पुनरावृत्तिम् ज्ञाननिधृ ज्ञाननिर्धूतकल्मषः विद्याविनयसम्पन्ने ब्राह्मणे गविहस्तिनि शुनि चैव श्वपाके च पण्डिताः समदर्शनः इहैव तेर्जितः सर्गो येषाम् इहैव तेर्जितः सर्गो येषां साम्ये स्थितं मनः निर्दोषं हि समं ब्रह्म तस्मात् ब्रह्मणि ते स्थितः न न बृहश्चेत् प्रियं प्राप्य नो नो द्विजेत् प्राप्य चाप्रियं स्थिरबुद्धिर्रस स्थिरबुद्धिर्समूढो ब्रह्मविद् ब्रह्मणि स्थितः बाह्यस्पर्शेष्वसक्तात्मा विन्दत्यात्मनि यत् सुखम् स ब्रह्मयोगयुक्तात्मा सुखमक्षयमश्नुते एहि संस्पर्शजा भोगा दुःखयोनय एव ते आद्यन्तवन्तः कौन्तेय न तेषु रमते बुधः शक्नोति हैव यः सोढुम् प्राक्शरीरविमोक्षणात् कामक्रोधाद्भवं वेगं स युक्तः स सुखी नरः योऽन्तसुखो anyone want to continue योऽन्तसुखोऽन्तरात् योऽन्तः सुखोऽन्तराम् रामस्थान्तर्ज्योतिरेव यः स योगी ब्रह्मनिर्वाणं ब्रह्मभूतोऽधिगच्छति लभन्ते ब्रह्मनिर्वाण मृषयः क्षीणकल्मषः छिन्नद्वेधा यतात्मानः सर्वभूतहिते रतः कामक्रोधवियुक्तानां यतीनां यतचेतसाम् अभितो ब्रह्मनिर्वाणं वर्तते विदितात्मनाम् स्पर्शान् कृत्वा बहिर्बाह्यश्चक्षु स्पर्शान् कृत्वा बहिर्बाह्यश्च क्षुरश्चैवान्तरे भ्रुवोः प्राणापानो समो कृत्वा नासाभ्यन्तरचारिणौ यतेन्द्रियमनोबुद्धिर्निर्मोक्षः परायणः विगतेच्छाभयक्रोधो यः सदा मुक्त एव सः भोक्तारं यज्ञतपसां सर्वलोकमहेश्वरं सहृदं सर्वभूतानां ज्ञात्वा मा शान्तिमृच्छति। ॐ तत्सदिति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे कर्मसन्न्यासयोगो नाम पञ्चमोऽध्यायः। जय गुरुदेव। जय गुरुदेव।
Hello, Sarlaji. So no one is on the screen.
Yes, I have read
Yeah, just
the
give me a
shlokas.
few minutes that I'll get the thing because I was driving. I was listening to you, but 1 second.
Sarlaji, you want
There,
just एक मिनट बेटा हाँ.
yeah,
You want
Belaji, I couldn't. Yeah, please take over.
to share the screen? Can someone read?
No, I will do it. Bella ji.
There were
Okay.
so many mistakes by me,
Hold
but
on.
please excuse.
I'm going to screen. Just give me a couple of minutes once.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
get.
no problem.
If you guys want to do discuss something, is fine. From yesterday, we did the tad brahmanaha tad atma. Wait, whatever.
Yes, Vyavasayatmika Buddhi, Brahmaraji was talking about yesterday. We
Yeah,
can do Manana on that.
those 4 steps, right? That we're going to. Wait a minute. Where did I go? The Zoom, I closed it. What happened?
You want me to share the screen, Dr. Mara? I can share.
Oh, hold on just a second. I'm trying to get the Zoom. Meeting ID is 873. What is that? Can you tell me the number?
Just a minute.
873.
Huh?
874
4. Okay, it's changed.
5770 4933.
9104933. Okay. 33. Okay. Meeting passcode again. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, just give me 2 minutes. I'm back. I will take it over, huh? 1 second.
Not coming up. Go ahead, Balaji, if you want to share the screen. It's not working for me. Mm.
Uh, you are able to see, Dr. Mara?
Yeah.
You want me to enlarge the letters?
Tadbuddhaya. Okay. I'm reading from the phone number. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Tadbuddhayastad atmanas tannishta parayanaha gacchantya gacchantya punarvritam vritim jnana niruddha kalmashaha.
तद्बुद्धय
Yeah.
तद्बुद्धयः तदात्मानः तन्निष्ठास्तत्परायणाः गच्छन्त्य पुनरावृत्तिं ज्ञाननिर्धूतकल्मषाः. Yeah,
Mm.
please go.
You want to scroll. Tadbuddhayaha. Those whose intellect is awake to that Brahman. Tad Atmanaha. Those for whom the self is that Brahman. Tannishtaha. Those who are committed only to that Brahman. Tat Parayanaha. Those for whom the ultimate end is that Brahman. Jnana Niruddhata Kalmashaga.
ज्ञाननिर्धूतकल्मषा.
Nirdhuta, right? Nirdhuta, Jnana Nirdhuta Kalmashaha. Those whose impurities have been destroyed by knowledge. Apunarvritam.
Okay, Gurudev.
Apuna. Yeah.
Dr. Mother. If you are okay
Yeah.
to read, you can continue. Otherwise, I'm happy to take over. Let
No,
me
I'll
know.
read. I'll read.
Yeah,
That's fine.
please
A
go ahead.
state of no return. Gachanti, they attain. Those whose intellect is awake to that Brahman, for whom the self is that Brahman, who are committed only to that Brahman, for whom the ultimate end is that Brahman. Okay, I'll read this again. Those whose intellect is awake to that Brahman, for whom the self is that Brahman, who are committed only to that Brahman, for whom the ultimate end is that Brahman, which they have already accomplished, whose impurities have been destroyed by knowledge. They attain a state from which there is no return. So we did review this yesterday. Do you want me to read the whole thing, right? Okay. In the previous verse, Krishna said that knowledge reveals the truth that Atma is Brahman, that Brahman is the meaning of pronoun that occurring in the compound words in the present verse, Tat Buddhayaha, Tadatmananaha, Tadnistaha, and Tat Parayanaha. I don't know how to read this one. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, यत् परं ज्ञानं प्रकाशितं तत् ब्रह्म.
Tad Brahma. Okay. Because of this knowledge, the wise becomes Tad Buddhayaha. Buddhayaha. Okay. Because of this knowledge, the wise become Tad Buddhayaha. Tadatmanaha. Tad Nistaha. Tad Parayanaha. All of their impurities are destroyed by this knowledge. And when they go, meaning when they die, they do not return again. There is an order to be noted here, as we shall see by analyzing these compounds one by one. Those who are awake to Brahman, Tad Buddhis, are those whose Buddhi is in Brahman, meaning that the Buddhi is awake to the knowledge of Atma being Brahman. So, Tad Buddhis are those whose Buddhi is in Brahman, meaning that Buddhi is awake to the knowledge of Atma being Brahman. Their Buddhi is rooted. Previously, the Buddhi was awake only to Anatma, the Hankara, the ego, or I notion. When the Buddhi is awake only to Anatma, it is always concerned with securities, artha, and pleasure, karma, because the I always feels small and has to be boosted up. Only then can the person feel good. Everything is centered on feeling good, and that is necessarily dependent upon a number of external, physical, and psychological factors. Therefore, the Hankara always holds on to these factors, which are all anatmas. However, for Tad Buddhis, those who are awake to Brahman, okay. However, for the Tat Buddhis, those who are awake to Brahman, whose Buddhi is in Brahman, everything is Brahman alone. The Buddhi is Brahman, the mind is Brahman, the body is Brahman, everything is Brahman alone. Therefore, the Buddhi is never away from Brahman. Go where it will, the Buddhi is always in Brahman alone. So that is Tat Buddhi. So it is every time it's awake to the Brahman and everything is Brahman. Uh, those for whom the self is Brahman. Why are these people called Tadbuddhis? Because for them the Atma is Brahman. They are Tadatmas. So here the Atma is Brahman. Previously, the body, mind, intellect, memory, and so on were Atma. History was Atma. Biology was Atma. Even the hair and skin were Atma. I am blonde, I am black, etc. Money was also Atma. I am rich, I am poor. The body's physiological system was Atma. I am restless, I am sad, and so on. Even time and nationality were Atma. I am young, I am old, I am an American, Indian, etc. These, then, are some of the many notions people have about Atma. Do not make the mistake of thinking that all of these I notions together constitute the Atma, because some are contradictory. Each of them has its own problems. For example, when you say, I am an Indian, there is a problem. And when you say, I am an American, there is another problem. If you take the sense organs to be Atma, to be the Atma, there is the problem of requiring reading glasses because you cannot see well, or having to have mm, having to have everything repeated to you 3 times because you cannot hear well. Since all memories are not pleasant or interesting, memory also is a problem. Everything is limited in some way or the other, and therefore taking any of these to be Atma is a problem. Everyone has this problem of placing the I notion somewhere. One says, this is I, with reference to the body, mind, etc. This verse says that for the wise, the notion, this is I, is totally negated, and the I is recognized as pure consciousness, that which is not limited in any way, and which is the truth that is the basis of the entire world. The Jagat is understood as Mithya by this person, Mithya being that which is dependent on Satya, while Satya is self existent. So, Mithya being that which is dependent on Satya, while Satya is self existent. Only the self can be self existent. Nothing else is self existent. Those for whom the self, the I, is the self existent Brahman are called Tadatmanaka. Those who are committed to Brahman, Nishta means commitment, as we have seen in our study of the third chapter. For For example, a Japanista is one who is committed to the practice of japa, and Taponista is one who is committed to the practice of certain spiritual or religious disciplines called tapas. A Yoganista is the one who is committed to the eightfold discipline called Ashtanga Yoga. There are thus a variety of nishta commitments. This verse refers to those who are committed to Brahman alone. For Dharnishtas, Brahman is all that all counts, because all there is Brahman. And therefore, for them, there is nothing else to be counted. Having this knowledge, there is nothing more for them to accomplish. If there were something more for them to accomplish, their nishtha commitment would shift. Perhaps they would do japa for some time and then their nishtha would shift to something else. Such a shift in commitment does not happen for the tanishtas, whose commitment is to Brahman alone. This means that their knowledge of Atma is firm. It is no longer shaky. They have no vagueness nor any more problems to solve with reference to the self, and therefore nothing further to accomplish. So, Tanishta, their commitment to Brahman, nothing else. Those for whom the ultimate end is Brahman, having become Sannishta, having become Tanishtas, Brahmanishtas, Brahmanishtas, that what else remains for these people to do, whether they do or do not do anything. It is the same for them because they have already gained the ultimate end, that is Brahman. Parayana means that the ultimate end. Sorry. Parayana means the ultimate end, the real home. And those for whom the ultimate,
Kshamyatam, Maharaji, it is Parayana.
oh, sorry, I cannot saying Parayana. Okay, Parayana. Parayana means the ultimate end. The real home, real home. Since I have that hyphen on top, I read that is para. Okay, this is para. Para. That is a long ra in that one. Those for whom the ultimate end is Brahman. The Tat are called Tat parayanas. Tat parayanas. Okay. Knowing that Brahman is Atma is a goal that they have to accomplish. Okay, knowing that Brahman is Atma, this is the goal that they have to accomplish. And now that they have this knowledge, there is no more goal. This is what Krishna meant earlier, what he said. The one who sees Brahman in everything attains Brahman, is Brahman. So the one who sees Brahman in everything attains Brahman, is Brahman. People have different goals: security, artha, pleasures, karma, either here or in the hereafter, like heaven and so on. But for the wise, there is no goal other than Brahman, which they already are, because they are Tad Buddhayaha, Tadatmanaha, Tad Nistaha, Tad Parayanaha. This means their goal is accomplished. There is nothing more to be done. Self knowledge removes all one's impurities. Krishna then describes these people are jnana nirduta kalmashas. So Krishna then described these people as jnana nirduta kalmashas, those whose impurities, kalmashas, have been removed. Nirduta by knowledge. Sorry, have been removed is nirduta. By knowledge is jnanena. And what are these impurities that have been removed? Likes and dislikes, ignorance and error, punya and papa, happiness and unhappiness. All of these are referred to here as kalmasha, impurities. These impurities are removed by knowledge. When such people go, meaning when they die, they do not come back. That is, they are not born again. Apurna vritim kachanti. And while living, they are already tad buddhayaha, tad atmanaha, tad nistaha, and tad parayanaha. Jnana nirduta kalmashas are jivan muktas, people who are free even when they are alive, and they cannot become bound again when they die because there is no they. They are Brahman, and Brahman does not come and go, let alone come back. For such people, there is no more duality. There is only Brahman, who is Ishvara, and also the world. Those who know the self as Brahman gain an end from which there is no return. So those who know self as Brahman gain an end from which there is no return. Apunaravritim gachanti. There is no longer any connection to another physical body. How do these people whose self-ignorance is destroyed see the truth? Do they see the world differently from those who are ignorant? So that's in the next verse. Hmm. Vidya vinyasam panne. Sorry. Vidya vinyasa sampanne. Brahmane
Vinaya.
gavihastini. Vinaya, sorry. Vidya vinaya sampanne. Brahmane. Brahmane gavihastini. Sunichaiva swavapake. Cha
Swapake.
pandita supake cha panditaha samadarshinaha. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne, one who is endowed with knowledge and humility. Brahmane, in a Brahma, in in a Brahmana, Gavi in a cow, Hastini in an elephant, Sunicha and in a dog, Swapake Evacha, and indeed is in a dog eater, Panditaha, wise people, Samadarshinaha, are those who see the same Brahman. So the question is, can you go back a little bit? How do these peoples with whose self-ignorance is destroyed see the truth? Do they see the world differently from those who are ignorant? That is a question. So that's the answer here. They see everything samadarshinaha. So wise people are indeed those who see the same Brahman in a Brahmana who is endowed with knowledge and humility, in a cow, in an elephant, in a dog, and even in a dog eater. In this verse, Krishna says that wise people become samadarshis. Samadarshis. They see the same Brahman, Sama, which is not subject to change in everything. This means they are able to recognize Brahman everywhere as that which is not affected or stained in any way by punya or papa or by different types of impressions, samskaras, as be they conscious or unconscious. They know everyone to be that Brahman that remains untouched by all karma and karma pala because it remains always the same, unaffected by any change whatsoever. So I'll read this paragraph one more time. So it's very nicely put. In this verse, Krishna says that the wise people become samadarshis. They see the same Brahman, Sama, which is not subject to change in everything. This means they are able to recognize Brahman everywhere as that which is not affected or stained in any way by punya or papa or by different types of impressions, samskaras, be they conscious or unconscious. They know everyone to be that Brahman that remains untouched by all karma and karma pala because it remains always the same, unaffected by any change whatsoever. Brahman remains the same, unstained by anything, eternally pure, and is never involved in any way at any time. Remaining uninvolved itself, the Brahman is that without which no involvement is possible. This is the beauty of Brahman, which is Atma, the Self. Those who see this Sama, Brahman, everywhere in everything are called Samadarshis. To make this point, Krishna points out a few instances in which the wise see the Sama, Brahman, Sama Brahman. The first is the Brahmana, described here as a Vidya Vinaya Sampanna. Vidya Vinaya Sampanna, one who is endowed with both knowledge and humility, in which in such a Brahmana, the wise person sees the same Brahman. The wise person sees the same Brahman as he or she sees in a cow, Gavi, in an elephant, Hastini, in a dog, Suni, and even in a dog eater, Swapik. Sorry, Wapake, Wapake, Swapake. From childhood onwards, the in okay, a childhood from childhood onwards, a Brahmana is brought up in a religious way and lives according to the rules and stipulations set out for Brahmanas in the Veda. Such a person, therefore, has devotion, a prayerful mind, knowledge, and humility. So, therefore, what they have? as devotion, a prayerful mind, knowledge, and humility. Naturally, such a person also has good samskaras and relatively happy mind, free of emotional problems. Because this person is endowed with knowledge and humility, his or her actions are always good, thereby creating a lot of punya for the person. Is the Brahma is the Brahmana Atma affected by good samskaras? No, Krishna says here. So whatever he's doing, it creates punya, but does it affect his Atma? No. A cow, an elephant, and a dog, on the other hand, have no samskaras whatsoever, neither good or bad. They behave according to the particular program governing the species to which they belong. Still, there is difference between a cow and an elephant. For example, in terms of the qualities, sattva, rajas, and tamas, the cow is not a lazy animal. It does not have a predominance of tamas. It has some sattva and a lot of rajas, in that it is active. An elephant, however, even though a very intelligent animal, has more tamas because it moves slowly, and water buffalo has much more tamas. Hold on a second. Okay, let me get some water. Okay. So, water buffalo. And the water buffalo has much more tamas. Dolphins and whales, for example, dolphins and whales, for example, seem to have more sattva, intelligence, as evident by the manner in which they respond to people as compared to many other animals. Thus, there are differences in qualities in different animals. Here, Krishna probably mentions the dog in order to bring in the dog eater, a person considered to be despicable. Can we scroll up, please? So, in all of them, the Brahmana, the cow, the elephant, the dog, and the dog eater, the wise see one Atma. And what is that Atma? Sama Atma. Atma that is never subject to change and therefore unaffected by either good or bad samskaras. Nor is the Atma affected by any.
You need some rest, Dr. Mara. Are you okay?
One second, huh? Yeah. There's one more paragraph, right? That's it. Where was I? Atma is the truth in all of them. In all of them, the Brahmana, the cow, the elephant, the dog eater, the wise see one Atma. And what is that Atma? Sama Atma. Atma that is never subject to change, therefore unaffected by either good or bad samskaras. Do you want to read Bella for just a few seconds?
Yeah. So in all of them, the Brahmana, the cow, the elephant, the dog, and the dog eater, the wise one, the wise see one Atma. And what is that Atma? Sama Atma. Atma that is never subject to change and therefore unaffected by either good or bad samskaras. Nor is Atma affected by any of the qualities or attributes, gunas, tamas, rajas, and sattva, even though it is the basis for all of them. Atma is the truth of all of them because without Atma, none of them can exist. However, Atma itself is free from all of them. This is the Atma, Brahman, that is the same in all. If Atma could be affected in any way, then the dog Atma would be different from the elephant Atma and so on. When the dog bends its head, the Atma will also bend. If this is your understanding, you may think that when you were born, your Atma was innocent and now the Atma has become wild, sad, or whatever. You may also think that you are all of these things and that they cannot be removed. To correct such thinking, Krishna makes it clear that Atma is always pure Shuddha. The wise people called Panditas here are those who see Brahman, which is not subject to modification, in everyone and everything. Because they have this vision, these Panditas are more than scholars. Therefore, they are called Samadarshis. Krishna then explains what is attained by those who have this vision of sameness.
Yeah. So we
So
did the
once,
two verses,
yeah,
right?
once again the the very beautiful vocabularies we have to understand till we digest. No,
Right.
Samadarshinaha. We can do the Manana
Mm, true.
on
So the verse
Samadarshina.
number 17, right?
18.
Uh,
Yeah, we just now
this
read
is
18, Dr.
18.
Mara. Yeah.
Right. But that one, how they attain this wise person attaining uh, this ultimate end, that
17
knowledge, right?
verses here. Tat
Yeah.
buddhaya, tan nishtha, tat parayana, tadatmana,
Tadatmanaha tanishtaha
tadatmana.
parayanaha. So that Buddhist is like one person, like that Buddhi is rooted in Brahman. Like always, whatever they are doing, everything is Brahman. So they are well rooted and, like she said, centered in Brahman. So that person is that Buddhaya. So his even though his Buddhi is aware, like awareness to the Brahman. But what is otherwise if the Buddhi is rooted in ahankara or ego, what happens? Then they go for like limited things like artha, kama. Then they are not going to have that they have. That's only going to bring them more misery.
Yeah, the kalmashas are ragadvesha and
Right.
ahankara dissolve.
Mm-hmm.
Because of
Mm,
that, they are not able to be committed.
right. So then the tadatmanaha is when tadbuddhis are going into tadatmanaha, that they have this awareness, the self is Brahman. Self is the Atma. So uh, when they know that is Atma, again they focus, I mean, they're single pointedly, they see that Atma in themselves as well as in the other things. But then if people are not they consider self as body, mind, and other things, I am this, I am that, then that's not Atma, that's more like an Atma, right? So that person is Tadatmanaha.
Yeah, he doesn't have the wrong impression about that conditioning that I am old, I am young, I am Indian,
Mm,
I am American.
yeah. He's not rooting in that. So he's not like focusing on the body, mind, senses complex. Even though he performs action, that action is that daily thing going on, or but then he's focusing on that I part, I notion is focused to Atma. The self is the Atma. And then the Tat Nishtaha is, Nishta means commitment. So people completely committed only to Brahman. That person become Tannishta. They're not like doing various things, right? There are different kind of nishtas, but this person is totally focused on the Brahman, to attain Brahman.
Yeah, we people have dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Moksha is the last for normal
Right.
people, but for
Mm.
Tannishtha, moksha is the first.
Right. So they,
Brahman for them, it is because for them everything is Brahman, and that's why they
right.
are committed to that.
So their knowledge is also firm and they're not shaky. So they are only focusing on that commit committed commitment to that pathway that lead them to moksha. Not believing in that Vedic, not Vedic knowledge, that Shastra knowledge, right?
It is not like us, like sometimes we feel happy when we are in good,
Mm,
when things happen according to our wishes, and sometimes we
mm,
are unhappy when they don't happen according to our wishes. But to Tannishtas, because their commitment to Brahman is so strong and steady that
mm.
nothing can shake them. And
So tad buddhi, tadatmana, tadatma, tad nishta, tanishta,
Tannishta.
and the ultimate end to them is this Brahman. So they
Mhm.
already reach that part, and so there is no return. Once they reach that point, no return. That means no rebirth and all that. So when they go, and that's all. That the tat parayana. Ayana means travel, right? Is that parayana? So they travel to God, para parayana.
It is not, they don't come back to that death and birth cycle.
Right. So once they reach,
Mhm.
there's no return. And so once they get there, like they once they really get this self knowledge, which removes all that impurities, the ignorance, the veil of the ignorance that covers this knowledge is all removed. That the impure, what are kalmashas here? They explained the kalmashas are like ignorance, error, and the punya, papa, and happiness, all that likes and dislikes, all that is that are dissolved by this knowledge. So once it's been resolved, the destroyed, what remains is just the Atma, that's Brahman. So once they reach that apunaravritim gachanti, that means they no return. Jnana nirduta kalmashas, and then the apunaravritim gachanti. So no longer any connection to another physical body. There's no birth again. They dissolve in Brahman. So going on to the next verse. So anybody can share a thing about. Please share. We have a couple of more minutes. So this, just quickly, I'll say that verse 18, in connection with the verse 17, how did these people become wise like that? So that is the answer for the 18 verses, answer for the 17 verse question. So the wise person sees everything, everybody, or everything as sama. Samadarshi means equally the Atma. He sees Atma in self and self in Atma in everything, the same self in everything. So he sees everything is Sama. This Atma is not affected by anything. It's eternal. It's not affected by all this or stained by Papa Punya, all this samskaras. Because so that's how they see it. So that's why they are able to get there. I know I can go on, but then please, I want everybody to share. We have a couple of minutes. See. Mm. Sarulaji, who else is here today? Savita, Dr. Savita, Sarulaji, please share your thoughts.
Yeah, the previous shloka was also so very important. I think everybody can say one sentence, please, for that
Yeah, like just
tadatmana
as,
tannishtha. Yeah, just one of their understanding. This we
yeah.
can of course repeat when Dr. Brahmara comes tomorrow, 18, the verse 18.
Actually, this verse, Tad Buddhayah Tadatmanah Tanishta Tatparayana, is similar to the answer that Krishna gave, or it could be an answer to what Arjuna asked. Sthita Prajnasya ka bhasha. How is the Sthita Prajna? So, all this is a description of how a jnani is. Tad Buddhayah. The buddhi is connected to the Atma and not the Anatma. And what will happen if buddhi is connected to Anatma? You'll be caught up in all the kalmashas. Your focus is security, ardha and kama, and not atma, not Brahman. Whereas this person whose buddhi is full of atma, nothing but atma. Tadatmanah. For such a person, the self is atma. Whereas for all the others, like us, the self is body, self is mind, self is the state of the mind. I'm happy, I'm restless, I'm sad. So that
I need
fundamental,
more.
yes. So feeling limited, I am limited, I am powerless, I am small, I'm weak. So all of this is completely erased because for him, Tadatmana. Tat is that Brahman, is Atma. The self is Atma for him. And Tannishta. And his full 100% commitment is to Brahman. No deviation. It's not a wavering commitment. It is a steady, stable commitment. It is not like fair weather friend. When I'm happy, when I'm convenient, it's comfortable for me, I'll do. It's not like that. It's not based on feelings. It's based on that commitment. Tat parayana. For him, the ultimate goal, the ultimate abode is Brahman. Gachantya punaravrittim jnana nirdhuta kalmasha. So with jnana, all these kalmashas are washed away. And then he goes to a place of no return.
So the most important is to gain the knowledge, that vritti jnana,
Yes.
which is the supreme, like without knowledge, that awareness will never happen. All these tatparayana, tanishta, nothing will happen. So the knowledge is the supreme.
This they explained about Brahmana, right? With that devotion, prayerful mind, all that knowledge and humility, whatever it is, all that, even that is not enough. Look like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is completely, you have to be engrossed into this Brahman, that attitude, we have to have that always,
Yeah, but with the help of
the
the knowledge,
commitment.
one, it is more easily, you can seep into that state. Without knowledge, nothing will happen. No?
Yeah, yeah, true.
So
Like
knowledge,
Karma Yoga, the awareness,
And the thing is, when does this knowledge dawn? For that, we have to do the preparation. The path is
yeah,
laid out, the
right.
steps are laid out. So, from being a karmi, you transform yourself to a karma yogi.
Karma Yogi, yeah.
And then, as a karma yogi, one of the things of a karma yogi, lifestyle of a karma yogi, is pursuing knowledge, going to the Vedanta, going to a guru who is a jnana nishta, brahma nishta, and tattva. What is that?
Tatvanishta.
Tattva with, hmm. Is it Tattva with you say? Yeah.
Brahmanishta and one who is well versed in the Shastras.
All right.
And then,
That,
which is what we're all doing right now.
mm,
And so, on this path, gradually, little by little, that knowledge is cleansing the kalmashas inside. And we can see it in ourselves, no? Compared to how it was few years ago. There is an inner transformation that's happening slowly and steadily. And then ultimately, when that cleansing is complete, then knowledge it has no choice but to dawn. That vritti jnana becomes established. So I think we will stop here. Anybody else wants to share, please. Otherwise, we can stop.
yeah. It's nice to share because the other, as we are reading, I suddenly remember Sangam Tektva. What is that meant? What we had to read? Like that, at least it's more familiar. Recollect the information.
I think we can have. Would you like to say the prayer, Dr. Mara? Or
Yeah, sure. Thank you for screening today. Sorry that I kind of delayed. I got home. Om Loka Samasta Sikino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat. Sarvam Krishnarpanamastu. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Jai Gurudev.
Dhanyavad, Sarlaji and Dr. Mara. Dhanyavad.
You're welcome. Do you want to do this? Yeah. Go ahead.
एकमेवाद्वितीयं ये ब्रह्मा निर्गुणं निश्चलं निर्विकारम् एकमेवाद्वितीयं ये ब्रह्मा अत्र वेदान्तमेव प्रमाणम् अत्र वेदान्त एव प्रमाणम् बोधक सद्गुरु तत्त्वनिष्ठः ईश्वरानुगृहीतेन वेद्यम् एकमेव द्वितीयं ये ब्रह्मा ज्ञानगम्यं तुरीयमृतस्थम् आत्मरूपं हि तत् येन ज्ञातम् सोऽध्वनः पारमाप्नोति सत्यम् एकमेव द्वितीयं ये ब्रह्मा ब्रह्मज्ञस्य तु ब्रह्मैव सर्वम् नास्ति मोहो भयं नैव दुःखम् तस्य स्वानन्दमग्नं हि चित्तम् एकमेवाद्वितीयं ये ब्रह्म निर्गुणं निश्चलं निर्विकारम् एकमेवाद्वितीयं ये ब्रह्म एकमेवाद्वितीयं ये ब्रह्म ब्रह्मैव सत्यं